Zandile Khumalo will face tough questions again around her version of events on the night that soccer star Senzo Meyiwa was killed.
Yeah, yesterday she was asked whether she would be able to dispute that someone else could have disarmed Meyiwa, since she was in the bathroom when one of the shots were fired. Khumalo's version is that two intruders entered the house. She's currently being cross-examined by Adv Zandile Mshololo, who's representing accused number 5, that's Fisokuhle Ntuli. Now, Ntuli and 4 others are charged with the 2014 murder of Meyiwa, who was shot and killed at the home of his girlfriend, Adv Khumalo. Newzroom Afrika's Mnisi is watching all these developments for us in court. He's in studio for us today, though, for a sense of what to think of what's happened so far and what lies ahead. It's great to see, as always, Linda. There's also talk of getting together some kind of application for Adv Khumalo to be on the witness stand. On what basis?
You'll remember that, she's viewed as one of the most critical witnesses in this particular matter. The reason why perhaps, Senzo Meyiwa could have been in that particular house was because, of course, Adv Khumalo, he had a relationship with Adv Khumalo. They had a child together. So she becomes quite central to this particular case. Now, it will be interesting to see when exactly the defense will bring this application, because if we speak to a number of legal analysts, what they're telling you is that the defense could wait for the state to wrap up its case, and before maybe putting in a Section 174 for a discharge, make that application to say, well, it would be in the interest of justice for this particular witness to be called into court. They can choose to also do it any other way, but it will be interesting to see now how the state will go about proving its case, because you'll remember the onus is on them and the strategy is theirs on how they want to prove essentially that there were intruders in the house who came in and ultimately, of course, shot at Senzo. So there are quite a number of things that one would have to look at before that particular application will be brought off. It will be also quite interesting to see, the kind of section that will be used in terms of the Criminal Procedure Act to bring Adv Khumalo to be a state witness. The other option also, Ayanda, is that the defense, if they're going to put on a defense and decide to put their version of events on the record, can simply ask, the state to make her available to them if they had intended, or if she was on the witness list. They can just ask that she be made available to them when they try to prove their case. So it really depends on what exactly the defense will do and what the state will do to try and, of course, mitigate around her not having to come to court.
Yeah, and I suppose part of getting Kelly's version of events becomes relevant in a context where Zandile Khumalo yesterday admitted that she actually doesn't know who might have pulled the trigger that ultimately fired the shot that claimed Senzo's life.
And also, you'll remember, she puts and places Adv Khumalo in the kitchen when that particular fire, that shot was pulled. And that really then brings about questions around what could have happened, because she indicated that the first shot went off and then the second one struck her foot. You'll remember then she ran to the bathroom. When the third shot was fired, she was already in the bathroom and wouldn't be able really to tell who could have fired that shot. It was put to her whether or not someone else could have disarmed Senzo Meyiwa. And at that point, from what we're getting from her and her version, is that in the kitchen was Senzo Meyiwa, the first intruder, and she also places her sister, Adv Khumalo, in the kitchen. So it becomes interesting and important that maybe she needs to come and give that kind of evidence of what could have happened when Zandi ran into the bathroom and ultimately she was left with the intruder and Senzo in the kitchen.
Absolutely. Plenty to think about with that cross-examination continuing today. Linda Mnisi, thanks for helping us connect the dots as we watch this all-important trial continue in the High Court that's sitting in Pretoria.